It's time to hit the sack.
Seriously? I'm hitting the books. I still don't know what I'm going to do my report on.
Sweeter, which is, what a lovely character. What a great kid. That actress, that little kid is amazing. What a precocious, engaging character. Yes.
I think she's a rising star.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to see her name in lights one day. Great actress. What do you guys think of the show? There were some interesting themes in this piece. So, the 6-year-old gets a slice of adulthood, kind of watered down, but still gets thrown into it a little bit. A lot of lessons in a real short period of time.
Very good screenplay. Wonderful performance from that little girl. They found lots of interesting ways to do their edits from scene to scene. They were really clever the way they did them, and the opening credits as well, putting names on jars and things like that. That was all very, very well thought out. So that's a great little film.
You've been wanting to live in my shoes for a day, huh?
She actually hasn't been talking about much else.
Well, all right.
Anybody notice that, and you guys can correct me, maybe I'm wrong, but when I watched it, they reference Dad. We know that there's a father figure, and the father figure's there, but we never see him. And we get the assumptions because he's working a lot. And she also says, the mom, that she's 23 and she's a 6-year-old. So this must have been a fairly young couple raising their child together. So I can't imagine that their life in Maryland has been candy-coated and easy. I imagine it's probably pretty tough. And it's got to be an interesting thing to be in your early 20s and hear a 6-year-old be like, I can do what you're doing. And I'm sure everyone at some point when they were a kid has thought, it's not so hard to be an adult. So we got an interesting perspective because the mom doesn't turn around and go, you don't know what it's like. She goes, okay, well, let's talk about it. How are you going to run your day? Make me pancakes?
This inequality in the income that mom and dad are having, and I think it's impressive when she's pointing to these gummy bears, and she's saying, please take out the blue ones and please take out the yellow ones. So that's what I do. Even though I am in a higher position than your dad, that's the difference that it's between the two of us, just because I am a woman and because I am a black woman. So I think that's very shocking.
And it's interesting that her daughter kind of makes lemonade out of lemons on that one and writes her paper on the wage gap. And you also get the impression that her mom tries to tell her, like, it's not just the work outside. I also come home and I get everybody up and I feed the animals and I get you all to school and my work doesn't stop at 5 o'clock. And you don't get it you just get the first glimpses that her daughter is picking up on that. Interesting scene at brunch too. A lot of interesting stuff that flirted around there.
Yeah, right from the beginning, the little girl's a great character. I think the mother was a good foil because she's a little more serious, but she still smiles. She's not angry, but she's a real foil to the little girl. I did found a little bit of where you thought the edits were really good. I've sometimes felt the edits were a little disjointed. And so I enjoyed the dynamic at that table and the one guy and going, I'm here. And I've been in that situation, hey, right? But I didn't really understand what it was about, why that just confused me as why she had to go to this brunch. And then she had to miss something. I didn't catch what she had to miss, so it was a little confused there. But yeah, the dynamic at the table was really good. Not just black and woman, but a lot of different minority kind of statements in the movie.
There's great visibility, great diversity in the piece for sure. I took it as the daughter was saying, I can do this, I can be an adult. She's like, okay, well, we'll pick the Sunday, and you can do everything that I would do, but I have to go to this lunch date with your cousins. And she was like, oh, but I have a play date. We'll combine them, so I'll go out, and we'll all go out for brunch. And then she kind of gets a crash course in life about, like, by the way, don't date these people. By the way, make sure you keep... And she gets kind of like a candy-coated version of what it's like when you go out to brunch with your girlfriends and all the things you end up talking about.
I thought the mother was a little weak in the character in that she was too good. A little, it was hard to understand the real her. She came across a little bit one-dimensional. But I thought the gummy bears was wonderful.
It's a great analogy. I have a perspective on the idea of the character being one-dimensional. I see where your angle is coming from. I assumed that every character I was seeing was through the eyes of the child. And of course, when you're 6, your mother's invincible. She's always happy. She's perfect. And she, that the eyes of a kid, like everything she's going through, she's seeing it from the perspective of a 6-year-old trying to be an adult. in reality, that 23-year-old mom is probably exhausted and tired and working 60 hours a week between her job and her family and holding it all together. But you don't see her do that. She shows she shows the side of the perfect mom to her kid, because you see her doing her hair and cuddling her and laughing with her, and that's the mom she wants to be. That's the mom her daughter sees. And you only get such a short time in childhood where you can see that. Your parents are only a superhero for so long. And in that part, I thought there was a really gut punch, like, softness to it.
This is probably going to sound really trite, but were those gummy bears?
I don't know.
Because if they were, all that I was thinking about is, ooh, they're on the carpet. They're going to pick up. How can you eat those gummy bears after they've been on the carpet?